Hello and welcome to Informatica Global Customer Support Knowledge-Based Videos. Today I'm going to be talking about how to run and use the project statistics report that's contained in the Test Data Management Data Subset for use with SAP version 6.1D product. My name is George Klein. The agenda for this video is to talk about what is the project statistics report, what are some of the reasons why you'd want to use this report, and then at the end I'll show you an example of how to execute and look at the data that is generated by the report. So first of all, what is the project statistics report? The project statistics report is contained in the Test Data Management Data Subset for use with SAP product that allows you to run a report on projects that you've run previously to determine different statistical information pertaining to that project, such as what were the tables that were provisioned from one source to the target source, how much data was moved in kilobytes and megabytes, gigabytes, number of rows provisioned, and the time it took to move that data. The report also allows you to do some what-if scenarios by increasing the number of threads that you may or may not want to run for a similar report in the future, and gives you some of the throughput statistics based upon that what-if scenario. So the best way to talk about this report and what this report can do for you is to actually show you the report in an example. So let's go ahead and go to our SAP system. So we need to go to the data subset for use with SAP main area menu, and we can do that by going to the transaction area of the SAP screen and typing in /n/getst main. Okay, and that takes us to the main area menu for the product, and you'll see here the administration folder. If we click on the administration folder, you'll find the project statistics, and let's go ahead and execute the project statistics. The first thing you'll see is a user interface for the report, and it's going to ask you for the project that you want to run the report against. So let's click on the drop down, and we have some filter here. We want to just get my reports and all of them to choose from, so I'll just go ahead and click on the green check box, check mark, and let's go ahead and look at, say, this project, and then it talks about how many threads did I use. Well, I used 4 threads to process this this project, so 4 tables were running simultaneously, and I want to show you the details of that report, or I should say project, rather than just the summary information. You'll also see the include operations ID checkbox. That normally you wouldn't check unless a customer support engineer from Informatica asked you to do so for debugging purposes. Basically all that checkbox does is put the hexadecimal code or number for the tasks that were run to allow a Informatica engineer to help determine if there was an issue or for a debugging purposes. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute the report, and now you'll see some information appear. The report starts off with the name of the project, and in the far left column it has all of the tables that were provisioned from the source system to the target system. It gives them its status. Did it complete, or was there an error? And it shows these are completed. It shows how many rows of the table was actually provisioned based upon the selection criteria that the project had. It gives you the number of bytes that were provisioned, and then it gives you the elapsed time that it took to run in days, hours, minutes, and seconds. As you can see, this is a very small project, so everything ran fairly quickly into seconds, or even less than seconds. So let's go ahead and scroll down. You can see that there are several tables, and gives all the information here about those tables that were provisioned. You can see here that this PEVAT was larger. There was 315,000 or 2,048 rows that was provisioned less than a second. And we go down a little bit further. Now we're at a section of the report that talks about the throughput and the optimum thread utilization to get the most throughput for a given project. Here we show the actual threads. We have threads 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have the total number of bytes that were provisioned, how many operations, that means basically how many tables were provisioned within that thread. And you can see thread number 4 had 60 different tables, but thread 1 had 1 table, and that's probably because thread 1 was a bigger bigger table. And as you can see, it took 2 minutes to run that table, where the others took just a few seconds. It now gives you the average gigabytes per hour per thread. So it was actually moving about 0.687 gigabytes per thread when that project was running. The next section of the report shows you the actual processing time of the project. So for the total tables, there was 122 tables, the total number of bytes, the total number of kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and then the elapsed time that it took. So it took 0.002 days to run the project, 0.039 hours, and 2.317 minutes. And the last section here shows the average throughput of the project. The average gigabyte per hour is 1.154 gigabytes per hour, 19.632 megabytes per minute, or 0.291 gigabytes per hour per thread. So based on this particular project, and the extrapolations that took place, it's giving you the actual run times and a pretty accurate estimate of what you could do if you were to increase the threads to get a greater throughput. Well, that's pretty much it. The report shows you what could be, it shows you what it does, lets you know what tables were moved in that project or processed in that project, and the actual amounts of data moved by and the time it took to do so. You can also reference our knowledge base articles 142795 and 118048 if you have access to the Informatica My Support portal. And these articles have is a textual based document that pretty much goes through the steps that I just showed you in our example. Well, that's the end of my presentation. I hopefully it's been helpful to you. We'd love to hear from you. You can contact us at supportvideos@informatica.com or at our Twitter account at https://twitter.com/infasupport. Thank you and have a nice day.